Welcome my fellow gamers, I'm the Body Counter, and today I'm going to be sharing with you possible future content for Battlefield 1. With Battlefield 2018's reveal around the corner, and false leaks spanning across the forums and social media, it only means one thing for certain: BF1's life is near an end. All 4 confirmed DLCs for Battlefield 1 have been released. We fought as the battle-hardened French Republic during the infamous struggle of Verdun and the Second Battle of the Marne. We experienced the greatest conflicts on the Eastern Front, including the world-changing Russian Revolution as the Russian Empire. We've sailed to the shores of Gallipoli and the harsh waves of the North Sea to secure naval dominance, and we finally fought in Hell during some of the most fatal battles of the war. Now, I say 4 confirmed DLCs because I still have faith that we might just see post-premium content for the game. Previously, Battlefield 4 released Operations, a series of free downloadable content that dropped after Battlefield 4's last DLC, Final Stand. This content included new maps, weapons, a game mode, and a few more features. So for this video, I'll explore all the possible ideas for an Operations DLC for Battlefield 1. For this list, we'll have a minimum of 3 map ideas per DLC theme. Number 1, the Balkan Front. I've previously touched on this idea as a part of my Bulgaria history video, but now I'll go further into areas that aren't just about Bulgaria. This operations idea could see the inclusion of Serbia, Bulgaria, Greece and/or Romania. It would be set on the Balkan Theatre, a major exclusion from Battlefield 1, seeing as Serbia were the ones who were supposedly the instigators of the war. For maps, we could see the Battle of Belgrade between Serbia and the Austro-Hungarian Empire, the Battle of Doriran in 1917 between Bulgaria and the British Empire, and finally, the Kosovo Offensive between Serbia and Bulgaria. As for weapons for each DLC idea I have in mind, I would expect at least 1 weapon per class, including a sidearm. For the Assault, we could receive the Sornov Madsen, the Bulgarian Mannlicher M88 Selbstlader for the medic, the Fromostop M17 for the support, and the Berthier 1892 for the scout. For a sidearm, the Behola would be an appropriate all-class handgun. And now for my second DLC idea, the Japanese Empire. This is another highly suggested idea that the community has been asking for, and was expected for Turning Tides. Although the Japanese Empire barely contributed to the war effort as much as other nations, they're a unique and rather obscure empire to feature. As for maps, World War I history enthusiasts will know one for sure, and the other 2 will be less looked at, but very interesting and worth the addition. The first and most famous battle to be featured for the Japanese Empire is the Siege of Tsingtao, and the other 2 maps are set during the Allied Russian intervention during the Russian Civil War. Here, the Japanese fight the Red Army. The 2 intervention maps that I have in mind are set at Vladivostok, which was a coastal city in Far East Russia, and another map located close to Lake Baikal near a massive rail line. As for weapons for this DLC idea, the Type 18 civilian shotgun Maruta for the Assault, the Winchester M1910 for the medic, the Type 3 heavy machine gun for the support, and the Type 22 Maruta for the scout. As for a sidearm, the legendary Type 14 Nambu seems like the obvious choice. Finally, for my third DLC idea, the Caucasus Front. A largely overlooked part of the war for the Battlefield 1 community, but certainly one of the most interesting. This campaign was fought between the Russian Empire and the Ottoman Empire. For the Russians to be featured in this DLC, the female scout should be exchanged with an Armenian volunteer scout, as the Armenians fought alongside the Russians on this front. The maps for this expansion could be the Trebizond campaign, the second map could be the Bergman Offensive, and finally, one of the more recognisable battles of the Caucasus, the Erzurum Offensive. A map during the Erzurum Offensive which could be featured would be set in the Erzurum Fortress, giving the community a Far Fortress vibe, but only the fortress will be bigger. The weapons lists for this expansion were a little bit tight, but I've got a decent bunch. For the Assault, I would suggest the Mannlicher M189702. For the medic, the Winchester M1866 lever action, the Maschinengewehr M1907/12 for the support class, and the Turkish Mauser 1871-84 for the scout class. As for an all-kit sidearm, the prototype Prilatsky M1914 would be a very obscure yet amazing addition. On top of these DLC map expansions, we could also expect a weapons crate pack DLC. Battlefield 4's weapon crates pack introduced the AN-94, Groza 1 and 4, the L86A2, and the Mare's Leg to the game. On top of that, the game mode Gunmaster, similar to Gun Game from the COD series. Weapons worth featuring in this weapons crate pack would be the Thompson Annihilator SMG for the Assault that the whole community has been rioting for. the Mjolnir 1916 carbine with a 15-round magazine for the medic, the amazing dual magazine Burton automatic rifle for the support, and the Kar 98 AZ for the scout. As for sidearms, I'd have to go with the Bayard Bergman M1910. The gap between now and Battlefield 2018's predicted release is quite large, and knowing how popular Battlefield 4's free DLC was, the odds of expecting small content drops between now and the next Battlefield game is very high. All we can do now is hope and make sure DICE are listening to what we want and what the community has to say. I hope you enjoyed this video and the ideas that I've mentioned previously. If you enjoyed, leave a like to show your support, drop a comment on what you want to see next or if you want to have a discussion, subscribe to keep up to date for when I upload next, and as always, continue gaming on.